Let's be honest, today you didn't wake up with the idea of learning about AI agents and agentic future. That actually wasn't your first task of the day. Your first task of the day was to just scratch a few things off and just to go on, and you saw this wonderful video and understood that it's a wonderful opportunity to change your life forever. So without further ado and without making any big promises, let's get right into it. Every day you're hoping not to lose your mind while going through endless to-do lists, repetitive emails, and basically repetitive and boring tasks. So this video is not about how to create some fancy AI drone algorithm or something really magical or just going to Mars in general. This video is for basically simple tasks, mundane tasks, and it is to protect you from the routinity of every day. So if you want to learn how to create AI agents which can help you with your work today, not tomorrow, but today, if you take action, stay on with this video and let me explain. My name is Justus, and from now on, I will be your go-to guide for practical AI tips. So nice to meet you, and let's begin. There are 3 different levels of AI you can use. Level 1 is large language models or LLMs. Level 2 is AI workflows, and level 3 is AI agents. Without further ado, let's walk through each one of them. So you probably, and as most people, use ChatGPT. So this is basically the phase 1, the large language model. It doesn't have any context on your life, it doesn't have tool capabilities, it doesn't have context, but it can give you simple answers to simple questions. You can ask it about simple facts, or you can maybe ask it to write an email to your odontologist to schedule an appointment. And it will write an email which will sound really emotionally intelligent of you, although you might not be feeling as that in that particular moment of time. But the only problem is that such LLM has no context, or if you give it a lot of context, it can perform well, but you need to give it that context, so it's additional effort from your side. And also that LLM forgets to follow up, it doesn't respond to the doctor with another email if the doctor doesn't respond to you, and so on and so forth. You can think of LLMs as reactive. They are brilliant conversationalists, but they don't have the initiative needed. You always need to start the conversation, feed the facts, and do most of the heavy lifting. Yes, LLMs are cool, but not quite as powerful, because you need to take the initiative and they only are as strong as your given prompt instructions. Let's move on to something cooler, AI workflows. Think of AI workflows as something you have assembled on your own, like IKEA furniture. You can assemble it however you like, you can give it a set of instructions, tools to use, and it will basically perform some workflow which you think of. Let's bring it live with a simple marketing agency example. So you run a marketing agency and you have an assistant. Every morning, assistant uploads the data for you, for example, into CRM, but for this particular video, let's use Google Sheets. And in that data, there's everything you need. But every morning, you need to check the data, make your own conclusions, read through it, understand the numbers, and so forth and so forth. And you have many clients. So in real life, you would be using some kind of CRM, but in this particular example, I will be using Google Sheets. So let's hop into my computer. So this is a fake marketing agency, and this is the fake marketing agency's clients. So basically you can see client names, you can see different dates. So basically there are 2 different dates in here. So this is today's date and this is quite a few days ago. And you can see all of this different data, notes from the assistant, campaign name, client name, impressions, click-through rate, conversions, conversion rate, whatever. You have all of that data. And you use Slack. So you want to get all of these insights without rumbling your head around every day through this enormous Excel table, because this is 9-10 lines, but in the future it can get really big really fast, and it's pretty hard to comprehend and pretty boring to do so as well. So you all use Slack, and in Slack you just get this sort of message in which you get a short summary of what happened with each of your client, for example, today or yesterday. So it gives, for example, this company what happened. So Instagram campaign, it gave you performance metrics, so basically key data you need to know, the notes, and also AI gave its own analysis. So analysis of the campaign, it also gave us its insight, and also it gave us its recommendations. So this way you can focus on things real as matter. You have just basically a marketing assistant on your own, and you have him every day at 8 a.m. So as you can see about each of the clients which is in this table. So if there were more clients, there would be more messages, but for the sake of this video, I've tried to make it simpler and more understandable. And how does this work on the backend? So we have this workflow which you can actually create on your own. The way it works, it has a schedule trigger, so it schedules each morning at 8 a.m. So for example, you come into the office at 8 a.m., you instantly receive a Slack message with all of that client data, insights, key metrics, etc. It takes data from Google Sheets, so it would be your CRM. For simplicity, we use Google Sheets. And basically we have an if node which routes the today's data items and the past data items. So the way it works is that it takes all of this and it passes through only those items which are today's date. So you can, strategize this how much as you like, but for the sake of this example, we just want you to be, informed about today's date. So it passed through today's date. It has an AI agent which has instructions that it's a marketing analyst. It needs to summarize the campaign data, and we basically give it formatting instructions and we ask it to give some of the feedback. So give some analysis and recommendations, and it's always the same. So it runs through all of those items and then it sends a Slack message. So at this point you might be thinking that it's not so hard, and I promise you it isn't. With simple AI workflows as this, you can do it as an assembly line, you can assemble your own stuff, and you can do all of this for a platform called N8N. Let's save this one and move on to a further point. So the limitation of this AI workflow is that you gave it the tools, you gave it the steps, but it isn't deciding anything. It basically is just a one-way street in which it acts only based on the instruction. So don't get me wrong, AI workflows are powerful and they can automate a lot of mundane tasks. But what if you need some thinking entity to make some sort of decisions for you, so you are more free and you don't need to confirm every action? So it basically thinks a bit as you and, helps you assess the stuff without needing to review it. It sounds weird, but just bear with me. So let's go to level number 3, AI agents. So real talk. Most of the AI agent descriptions fall into one of two categories. Either they are too expert and too boring and basically sounds like a AI master's PhD thesis, or they are too simple and they be too vague and basically just sound like a TED talk, which sounds good, but you can't apply it into your life. This is a video for people who use Claude, ChatGPT, maybe Perplexity, etc. But also, I know that because you watched this far into the video, you want to know more and you want to know more how to implement this into your life. So without further ado, let's get right into it. So don't be scared. This will be a bit more complex. I won't be giving any code snippets for this, but soon you will see that this is amazing. The first thing you need to know about the AI agents is that they just don't follow the instructions in a normal terms, like do this step, do this step, do this step. They can do that, but the important part is that they can reason on their own. So you give them instruction like organize my week, and they organize your week based on your needs and your preferences and your weird little coffee snacks and your weird habits and basically the way you want to work. And one day you wake up and you see that AI agent is optimizing your life better than you would have ever imagined. So this is one of the examples. The example I want to give you in this video is an agent which actually can perform scheduling on your behalf. So let's see how it looks in practice. So for the simplicity of this example, I will send a message to myself, as weird as it sounds. I will ask to schedule a meeting tomorrow at 10, and basically I will state that I want to discuss my company plans and ask what do I think. So let's do it. And sooner than later, we're receiving a response. So basically, AI agent is telling me, this is my fake name, that I'm not available at that time, and it's proposing 2 different time slots for me. And we've just replied to it that tomorrow at 2 o'clock is fine, and let's see what happens. And we should be receiving a message shortly. And we have just received a message that our meeting has been scheduled from 14 to 15 and that I'm just basically looking forward to it. So let's check the Google Calendar and we see that our meeting has been scheduled. It has the details that it was as agreed upon. So basically I can read more on the email. It has the name and that it has been scheduled from 2 to 3. So in this example, you've seen that this simple AI automation can schedule a meeting for us, and let's see how it works on the backend. So basically the way it works, it just waits for a new Gmail trigger, so a new email input. Then there is AI agent, which has availability to 2 of the tools. So it checks the availability and then it creates an event if the time is available. If it's not, you've seen it responds with 2 additional time suggestions, and it's basically OpenAI under the hood. It marks email as read, so it's not spamming our inbox, and it sends the message itself. So as you've seen, this is pretty simple. It's no code, it's any 10, and you can customize it as much as you want. You can give it your personality traits, your maybe preferences of people, and you can maybe even give it functionality to sort the emails by emotional damage level and maybe don't schedule appointments with some people. But for the simplicity of this video, I've shown you this simple AI agent. My final thoughts on all of this. So AI agents aren't there to replace you. They are there to make you more productive, to make your job less boring, and for you to automate all of the mundane tasks, so only the creative part is left. Also, one of the key bonuses of AI agents are that they don't complain, they work 24/7, they don't ask a lot of pain, they don't need a lot of caffeine, and basically they are very strict to the point. And last but not least, AI agents are there 24/7. They are helping you with the most boring tasks with excitement every time. They don't ask for a lot of caffeine, and they are not asking for a raise unless big AI companies, go up their pricing. So before you go back to your work by manually digging up the data or sorting the emails, ask yourself, can AI agent do this for you? And if you want help with AI automations, you can schedule a call with me below. I can help you build custom AI solutions for your business. For everyone else, I hope that you liked this video. If you did, please leave a comment of what would you like to automate yourself, and maybe I will do a tutorial in the future, and see you in the next one. Bye.